Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is 2 o'clock and time for the Wednesday live show. So here I am. I don't know about you guys, but it is raining here and this weather's got me like kind of sleepy. I feel out of it. But regardless, we are here and today we are going to speak about our response to stress. Okay, so you guys know I am a certified public coach or professional coach, not public. I'm a certified professional coach and an ELIMP, which means Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner, right? Super fancy way of saying I understand energy. We have ELI assessments, and what they do is they go through these 7 different levels of energy and they explain to you exactly how energy shows up in these 7 levels in you, specifically what your specific mix is, right? And in that also, so we have an energetic profile that's created, and then we also have an energetic stress reaction that happens. All right, so the way we respond to stress falls into this stress reaction. So an example of this might be when we encounter a stressful situation. We can see this through 7 different lenses, and I have put together like a little list of ways that we might see a different situation. The scenario that I'm going to use today is that you're going to an event and there's somebody there that just brings you down, they cause you anxiety, you don't want to be around them, and you have to go to this event. So that's a stress reaction, right? That's something that influences us and we're feeling stressed because of it. Through these 7 different levels of energy, we can look at this situation in 7 different ways. So if we were looking at it from the bottom of the scale, right? Because on levels 1 and 2, we have high catabolic energy. So that's that draining energy that, is distracting. It drains us. It's destructive, right? So if we're looking at this with 100% catabolic energy through the level 1 lens, we would look at the situation and say, you know what, I don't want to go. Their energy it makes me anxious. I don't like being around them. I don't want to be there. We completely withdraw from the situation. Okay. At level 2, right, which is known as the level of conflict, right, our perspective would then change, right, because we would be seeing things with conflict in the back of our mind. We would have thoughts of conflict. So our thoughts and feelings around this might be, so-and-so is going to be at the event, and their lack of socialization and the way that they carry themselves is just straight out rude, and I'm tired of it. I'm saying something to them about it, right? See the confrontation there? So that's the second way to look at this, and respond to the stressful situation. The third way that we could look at it through a level 3 lens would be where we're doing some coping and tolerating, okay? So we might think to ourselves something like, I really don't like their persona. I really don't like them. I don't like the way that they are. I don't like the way that they make me feel, but I guess I'll just have to deal with it. I'm going to go. It's just a couple of hours. Like, I'll just suck it up. Okay. So you see the coping and the tolerating happening there. The next way that we could look at this situation is through a level 4 lens. We're going to go from 1 all the way up to 7. And the higher we go on this scale, guys, the more anabolic our energy becomes. So it's anabolic energy is that building up force. It's constructive. It's, higher levels of engagement, right? It's what people like to call the good stuff, even though energy is neither good nor bad at any level. They all serve a purpose. So anyway, level 4 lens, it becomes all about them. So this is where we have a lot of concern and compassion for other people in level 4, right? And we would look at them and think something like, oh my goodness, like they're always in such a bad way. Like they just seem depressed. Like, I really wonder what's going on. And maybe I can figure it out so I can help them fix it. Okay, so now, right, and this feels better. You can see how this is more anabolic energy, right? Because now I'm not becoming victim to the situation. I'm not getting angry about the situation. I'm not tolerating anything. It's all about them, and I have concern and compassion, which feels better than those other emotions that I just mentioned. All right, so then on level 5, as we go up the scale here, we have a response that offers opportunity. Level 5 is a win-win perspective, and you know, we see a lot of opportunity there. So that thought might be something like, you know, well, if I go and I interact with so-and-so and I acknowledge and validate their concerns, you know, or whatever they're going through right now, then perhaps the energy between us will be a little bit lighter, and it'll offer an opportunity for connection, you know, so that way we don't have to have this tension between our relationship or in our relationship. Do you see the opportunity there, right? So it's a win-win. Like, the other person is feeling heard and seen. You're having the opportunity to build a deeper connection with somebody and, you know, move the relationship into a better place altogether. When we step into a level 6 lens, then we might respond to our stress with something like, I totally get it. I have 100% empathy for this person. I feel what they feel. You know, I'm going through what they're going through, and you know, and we're just going through. We're just with the flow. Like, we're connected to them, right? So level 6 is about being in the flow and synergy, right? So we're experiencing true connection. So there's true empathy happening, and I feel what they feel. I'm empathetic to the situation. So that would be a level 6 experience in this, you know, situation. So the last one, level 7, right? Everything at level 7 is the level of creation and passion. Okay. So there's like winning and losing becomes an illusion, right? So if we were looking at this through a level 7 lens, the situation, we're going to this event, we really don't enjoy this person, right? But we're going to look at it through this level 7 lens. Then we think to ourselves something like, I can create any experience I choose. There's no winning or losing here. So you see, like, there's no stress there. There's no judgment happening. We're not even focusing on, you know, the energy of the other person. We've stepped into a place where it's, you know, just, I get to create whatever I experience here. So again, that level of creation. Level 7 is not somewhere where people reside often, right? But we all have the ability to tap into it. So these are the different ways that we can respond to to the same situation. And you saw how each one became lighter and lighter in the thoughts and emotions that I was experiencing. You know, there are, you know, 5 basic ways that people respond to stress, right? So the first one, right, and unfortunately the most common one is, you know, that people become victim to a situation. They respond in a way that, you know, says, this is happening to me and I'm powerless and I have no control over the situation, right? And then what happens is they withdraw or they stand idle in the situation, right? And by all means, this is not the recommended response you should have for stress, right? But it is, you know, the most often, and unfortunately, it takes a huge toll on people's physical and mental health. Okay. The second way people tend to respond to stress is to just accept the situation, right? Or they try to get some kind of perspective on it. So they either say like, well, so what, whatever, you know, and sweep it under the rug, or they say, okay, what would be my perspective? Like, is this going to matter in 1 week? Is it going to matter in 1 year? Is it going to matter in, you know, a day, right? So how seriously should I take this? The next way that people, or the third way people respond is, you know, to take action, right? And to just take purposeful action towards a goal, right? And I want to say that this is also kind of common, and a lot of people that have, I want to say that it's a powerful response, right? And it's one that effective leaders use, right? They stay focused on the goal and they continue to work towards that goal. The fifth way that people generally respond to stress is to alter the experience or the situation, right? So they look at the situation differently, and then the experience in itself changes. Just like as I was going through those 7 levels, you saw my experience change. In one of them, I wasn't attending the party at all. The second one, I was getting angry at the party. It's a completely different experience, right? And by the time we got to the end, I was saying, I can create my own experience. There were levels with empathy. There were levels with, sweeping things under the rug. Each one of those have different experiences. So the 5th response is just knowing that we can create our experience and look at things through a different lens. Okay. And because we tend to get stuck in our own like personal interpretations and assumptions, it can become hard to do this, right? But it's definitely possible, right? And it definitely is the most powerful way to respond to stress. And the assessments that I do, the Energy Leadership Index assessment that I offer, really, it shows exactly how all of this energy shows up in you. It shows exactly how the energy shows up in you when you're in a stress response. And it gives you the opportunity to really understand all of these levels. So you can put on that different, set of glasses or, look at things through a different perspective. So super powerful tool. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Just the different ways that we can respond to stress and how we have the ability to take something and just look at it through all of those different ways and truly change our experience in the moment. Okay. So, if you guys have any questions about that, you want to know more about it, you know how to get in touch with me. My information is in the About Me section. You can always go to my website, nicoleann.life, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Have a good one.